let me tell you about one thing.
Sure.
So, as I said, I listened to your podcast, and one day you interviewed Mike D from Stronger You.
Yeah, Mike Dohila. Yeah.
Right. So I was really interested in that. And, after you finished, I checked out Stronger You online. And then about 8 months later, my son was talking to me and said he might like to try a weight loss program. I said, well, go to Stronger You. It looks really cool. So he did, and he signed up and, has lost 100 pounds and has a Peloton and Tonal and...
Holy cow.
That's great. Good for him.
That's awesome.
Time to hit the gym. Better do it smart. Get your own coach there where you are. Start the day right. There in your home with the smartest gym in the world. Ready, set, go. Smart panel, smart bar, smart training. There you are. Customizing it right. AI, form and vibe. Superset will show you what it's all about. It's a total workout.
Welcome to the Superset Podcast. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe. It's episode 48.
Glad you went back for that.
It's very important.
It is.
They've got their scorecards out.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
they need to know.
What number is it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure everybody was waiting with bated breath to find out which episode we were on.
Well, I like to think that they have delightful breath. So...
It just means they were waiting. They were anticipating. That's all it means.
I see. Okay. So we're excited. This is the night before we leave for New York.
It is.
Going to New York for a big fancy fashion show.
Yep. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. But today we're all about Tonal, and we're going to just talk about all the things going on.
Yeah. What do you got for people?
I mean, we might as well just jump into the episode because if I say them, we've already talked about them.
Okay. Well, then I'll just go straight to shameless plugs.
Okay.
Don't forget, you can find us wherever you find your podcasts. Apple, iHeart, TuneIn, wherever you are, that's where we are. While you're there, be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. That's always helpful. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Superset Podcast. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and we have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/theclipout, the name of our other show. But all of these episodes live on that same YouTube channel, so you can go over there and watch these episodes. So there's all that. Let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
Look who's talking about Tonal.
So monthly challenges are back, mostly. They're slightly delayed.
They are. So it's going to be the beginning of October, and Christina Centenari is going to be doing a 20 in 20 runners challenge that's going to be starting in October. It was going to be started in mid-September, but I guess something occurred, and so we needed to wait. It was like scheduling conflicts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that could be really good for you. You've been doing a lot of running lately.
Yeah. This is great for anybody that's like just wanting to do a really good strength workout, but they also want to get all the running done. And sometimes it's hard to balance the two because you don't want to have sore legs all the time.
Right.
And so this is going to be a really good challenge. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And I think people associate running with cardio for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But this will help you get your strength for it as well, right?
Yeah, you can balance. Like, you'll have days that are going to be set aside for running, but you're also going to have days that are set aside for getting stronger. And when you get stronger, you're able to run better and be faster. So it's a win-win. Like, everybody should be doing strength, even if they run all the time. Adding the strength in, I can say this as I now know this because I did my own personal training certificate and I learned a lot about this. You don't want to just do cardio all the time.
Right.
Like, strength is very, very important. So for those of you who are trying to balance the two, it is really important to add it in. So, and
it's not just a win-win, it's a win-wind because you'll be so fast.
You'll be so fast.
You'll be just creating breeze everywhere you go.
Yeah, and this will be the first one that Coach Christina gets to like run the challenge. So that'll be fun for her too. Are you a Phoebe runner or a Rachel runner?
Me? I don't run.
Oh, yeah.
So my guess is, were I to run, I would be a Phoebe runner.
You think you'd be all flaily?
Because I would be really bad at
Okay.
it. So that's my guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the Tonal blog has a really interesting post, I thought, about how to get back to exercising after you've had COVID.
Yeah, I love this blog because, again, as a person who, I talk to people all day long who are trying to fit in exercise and eating well. And so many people have had COVID the last couple of months that I personally coach. And people sometimes go in too hard. And when they do, that COVID can come back or it can delay you getting better.
Right.
And so this blog really talks about how you can ease into it and you can make sure that you are able to get back to strength training, but do it in a safe way that's not going to get you sick again. So lots of really good advice in this article.
Yeah. And as it says here, like if you didn't just have COVID, maybe put a little bookmark on that article, because boy, it sure seems like eventually everybody gets it. So far, knock wood, I have not.
Yeah.
But
your time's a coming.
yeah, it feels like the clock's ticking. Like I don't think I'm some sort of special advancement of human biology that I am immune to COVID. I just think I've been dancing between the raindrops. So
Well, I also think particularly this year, there's a lot of people that are getting sick with some kind of upper respiratory infection that is like really, really lingering. And it's not COVID. They've been tested and they find it's not COVID. But
Right.
I think that what's going on is like so many people haven't been out and about in
Right.
the last couple of years. Like we're all going out and like our immune systems are just like crap because of everything we've been through.
Yeah.
So it's easy to pick anything up. And I think these tips could be very helpful regardless.
while we're looking at the Tonal blog, they had some interesting recipes to make your cookouts more craveable, yet healthy.
They did. And also another reason that I posted this was because Kate was looking for some feedback into what kind of meal prepping and cooking activities people would like to see in the official Tonal community. Would people like to see live cooking demos, pre-recorded cooking tips, recipes? And so I'm curious to see where we end up and what she ends up, as she put it, cooking up.
That worked. I just pour.
You have to blame Kate for that.
Yeah.
That was all Kate.
I just pour ragu on everything.
You do.
Call it a vegetable.
Yeah.
And I'm good.
That is how you do it. That's, yeah.
It works for me. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't recommend it, but it works for me.
Yeah.
Thanks for the enthusiastic thumbs up.
I mean, I'm glad you found something that works. I can't imagine eating ragu every day. I'm drowning all my food in it, but I'm glad it works for you.
Yes.
I am.
New Tonal features.
Couple of new features to check out. The first is Airplay is now available for mobile workouts.
Yeah, so you can cast your mobile workout onto another screen. So I want to be clear, this is for iOS devices because it's Airplay.
Airplay, right.
And so if you use your Tonal app on your iOS device, you can go to the Tonal app and you can start the workout, and then you can cast the screen onto another device, which will be really great if you're trying to do a workout like on a TV. It's better than like seeing it on your phone because it's so tiny.
Like when you're traveling, like when I try to do the mobile stuff and then I got to prop my phone up and lean it against the TV.
Yeah.
Now I couldn't do this because I'm not an Apple guy, but I know I'm the odd man out there. So, and also you can now add duration-based sets for on-trainer movements in custom workouts. Could you translate that to people?
I can. Okay. So, when you do a workout on Tonal and it gives you a time rather than a number of reps that you need to hit.
Okay.
That's a duration-based set.
Okay.
And this is for on-trainer movements. So when you are creating a custom workout and you want to do, let's say, bicep curls.
Okay.
You can now say, instead of I want to do 10 reps, you can say I want to do 30 seconds of reps.
Oh.
And so you can now toggle between reps or duration to customize your workout even more. So that's really cool. Also, little known fact, I don't know that everybody knows this because I didn't know it till the other day. You get different weight recommendations from Tonal if it is a duration-based workout versus reps.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So when you're doing a custom workout, if you you change the number of reps, will it change the weight recommendation as well?
It does.
So if you're doing 10 instead of 15, it'll up the weight a little bit.
It does.
To compensate for the lesser amount of reps or fewer amount of reps, whichever is grammatically correct.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fascinating.
I've made my own little Stacy Sims knockoff workout. So yes, I've been playing with that, and I have it all in 6 reps. So it's like really heavy for me.
You're like, I'm busy. Got 6 reps and out.
New tonal content.
There have been updates to the live schedule for people keeping track at home.
Yep. And it started on September 12th. So by the time you hear this, it's already started.
Yes.
So there's new times and 4 different live programs each week. So each live program is progressive. And so if you follow along with those live classes, then like you're getting basically a program. And so then they also have daily live morning workouts, and those are encored every afternoon and evening. So, hey, whatever time works best for you. And whether it's a live program or a workout, they're all going to be added to the on-demand library. So you're not going to miss a thing. I want to just point out, because there were a whole bunch of people that it was not pretty when this post went up. Let's just say that. And I want to point out that the whole reason they're doing this is they're trying to host all the morning classes in the morning, live classes in the morning.
There you go.
Yeah, I got it. 2 times the charm.
Glad I could help.
And the reason they're doing it is so that the team has the ability to create new on-demand workout and programs in the afternoons. So new content is coming. It's going to be the way that you're used to seeing it. It's in progress. Let's give everybody a minute.
Give 'em a minute.
There's a lot going on. So, yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
And if you're wondering, this is a little tip I have. You had tips in the last segment. I have tips
is
in
this
this
your
one.
okay, okay.
So if you're trying to figure out, because I get confused by this, the difference between a progressive workout and the other ones, here's how. If it has a human instructor, it's a progressive one. If it has a little tiny lizard, that's a Geico.
My God.
How you tell the difference there.
Oh my God.
You're welcome.
Oh my God.
That's my tip to you. You okay over there?
No.
So it's just something they're working on. I don't know if they've rolled that out yet, so I hope I didn't give anything away. But also something else to keep your eye out for in the future, just things to think about that are coming. These are changes.
Oh no.
Little lizard front and back. It's gonna be a thing. Little lizard front and back. So keep an eye out for that. I really apologize to Kate if I got out in front of them on this one, but I'm just super excited about little lizard front and back. It's also fun to say. So I'm going to say it one more time. Little lizard front and back.
It's going to be so cute.
See? That's why I couldn't wait to tell people.
I understand.
So,
I understand.
Little lizard front and back.
Hopefully Kate will forgive you.
I doubt it. This is our last episode of the Superset. You know why? They filed an injunction, a restraining order to stop us.
They were like, no more jokes, Tom.
Yes. It was delivered by little attorney front and back.
Oh, okay.
We also have tons of new content.
We do. So I'm going to start with the newest, and this came out on September 6th. There was there's new multi-coach program. So this is cool. It's called Sculpted to the Core. You can train with Coach Gabby, Jared, Coach Nikki, Brendan, and Coach Paul. And they all are going to be trainers as part of this program. It's full body, 3 times a week for 2 weeks.
It's like a little sampler platter
exactly
of instructors for you. It's like the Vans Warped Tour, but for tonal workouts.
Yeah, and a lot that you're going to hear is all workouts that whenever Ali posted in the official tonal community and said, hey, we're still posting workouts from the content that the West Coast instructors had provided. This is part of it. So you're going to hear me talk about it, and that is why, because these are from before they left.
Gotcha.
And then we have a new quick fit. It's Fiery Endurance with Coach Francis. There was a quick fit core for runners with Coach Pablo. He always kicks my butt. And then new cardio, Tabata kicker with Coach Jackson. New mobility workout called Morning Mobility Essentials with Coach Jared. So tons of new one. And then there's going to be several workouts that were already occurred, but now they were live and now they're moving to on demand. So there's 20 and 20s for runners, level up your HIIT, and stacked strength and drop set strength.
But wait, that's not all.
That is true. So back in August, there was new stuff that dropped, and there's another multi-coach program, Power Packed HIIT, and this is going to be Coach Francis, Coach Brendan, Coach Trace, and Coach Liz. This one's full body, 3 times a week for 2 weeks, and it's building work capacity. So that way you're being able to condition your body and the ability of work that it is able to do. There was a new quick fit, lower flat body flash with Coach Gabby, new strength, fierce and focused with Coach Paul. There was a new warm-up dynamic chest stretch with Coach Jackson, killer cardio, which was, new cardio called Killer Intervals with Coach Pablo. And then there were some more live to on demand, the 20 and 20 and runners and the level up and the built for strength with Kendall and beginner push pull with Coach Tim.
Tonal Talks.
On August 31st, there was a new Tonal Talk, Get to Know Your Tonal Coaches.
Yep. And so previously they had been known as the New York Coaches, and now they are just the Coaches.
Yes.
So Kate basically moderated a fun discussion to get to know all the new coaches, where she asked a lot of really fun questions of them. And she also hosted a little game show with them. And it was a really good opportunity for people to get an idea of how they teach, what their background is from, what kind of things that they enjoy as just humans outside of coaching.
Sure.
And a lot of people attended live, but if you didn't get a chance to listen to this, then it's over on the official Tonal community page, and it's saved so you're able to go and listen to the whole thing.
Past guest update.
A while back, we interviewed Shelly Swartz Black.
We did, and she has quite the amazing weight loss story. But she also had another another milestone that occurred this week. She hit 1 million pounds. So congrats to Shelly. I just wanted to make sure we called that out.
Yes, absolutely. Congrats.
Tonal Book Club.
Another month, another book for the book club.
Yeah, the book of September is called The 5 a.m. Club.
No thanks.
So supposedly you just tweak like one thing and you can have better mornings, according to this. Now, I haven't read this book yet, but I'm not sure how I feel about it because I already feel like I get up early enough. And I also used to get up at 5 a.m. every morning.
Yes.
I actually feel like my life has improved by sleeping in 1 extra hour. So I'm going to...
I know my life has improved by you sleeping in 1 extra hour.
That's fair. That's fair. But I am very curious to hear what people have to say about this. So if you haven't gotten a chance, you want to read along, The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma.
In case you missed it.
So for people who are unaware, maybe explain who Sumner Paine is.
So Sumner is, I don't know exactly what his job title is at Tonal. He's just always been at Tonal since I've been here.
Right.
But I know he has he gets to test out things, and I know he has a lot to do with what goes on in the background. And I also know that he always is the person sending out little surveys to ask how your experience on Tonal has been. And he's just like a key member of the community because he's always been in the official Tonal community, and he's always been somebody who's very encouraging, and he always like cheers other people on, and he loves to hear how people are enjoying Tonal or what they could change, that kind of thing. He just likes the feedback. But Sumner has always been an amazing person in the Tonal community because I love watching his milestones. And I just had to call out this amazing milestone that he hit this week. 33 million pounds.
Wow.
And I learned this week that Sumner actually has done more work than that because before Tonal, like when he was testing Tonal before it became live, there's time out there that he was in the test database that volume didn't count.
Wow.
So that's only 33 pounds that's been tracked. 33 million pounds that has been tracked. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible.
Absolutely. That is a ton.
It is.
It's couple tons. It's multiple
a lot.
tons.
That's so many tons. Yeah. So congrats to Sumner.
Checking in with the Tonal community.
Joining us today via the magic of ZoomTube is Nan Bernardo. Hey, Nan, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. So excited to have you here today, Nan. So how did you come across Tonal and decide, I definitely need to get me one of those?
Everything appears to be interrelated. So I had gotten a Peloton and started listening to the Clip Out group. And then went back and checked. And in December of 2019, you had an interview with Allie, who was the founder of Tonal, I believe.
Yes.
Right. And so I thought, wow, that really sounds like a cool thing. I really need one of those. So I am a widow and live alone. So I don't need to confer with anybody about, can we afford it? Should we buy it? I said, I need to buy that.
That's amazing.
So,
so you got it, in early 2020 then?
Well, no. What I do on occasion is long distance bike rides.
Yeah.
So I waited till my bike rides were done. And then it wasn't until July that I ordered the Tonal and got it in September.
Okay. Yeah, because I guess at that point we were heavy into the pandemic. Yeah. Yeah, that changed things a bit.
And since that time, I, have been talking it up. My son bought a Tonal
Incredible.
last year. And my daughter and son-in-law got one about 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
Do you guys do like virtual group workouts together?
No.
Because they can't keep up with you.
They can't keep up with Nan.
I don't just have time for these amateurs.
She'll outlift us all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So what kind of workouts do you do? Are you more of a program person? Are you I'm just going to do my own workout? Do you do the individual things?
I focus just on the programs, and I decided when I started that I wanted to start, with the beginner programs, and so then I'm continuing to go through the beginner programs, and I said, well, once I finish all the beginner ones, I'll move on to the intermediate. But Tonal kept adding more beginners, so I've done 35 beginner programs out of 42.
You can graduate. I think it's okay.
Right.
Well, she might be a completist. Are you a complete? Do you feel like you have to finish all of them, even though they've made more?
No, but they look so interesting. I think, well, let me try this one next, and I enjoy them all.
It's hard to decide which one to do because they're all so good.
But that's also the beauty of Tonal, though, right? Is like you can do the things you want to do, right? Like you can pick and choose, and that's your way of plowing through it. So that's whatever works, man.
But, that's also great because those Program Plus that they just added. So like we could be doing the exact same one, but you could decide to do it on beginner and I could be doing it on intermediate. And then maybe later when you're going through all the intermediates, you decide to do intermediate. You never know.
Right. And also, I'm not sure when they added the recovery into the programs, but I've tried one or two of those and I think they're great too.
They are great. What a fabulous way to kind of still move that day but not do a full out workout. You mentioned that you do your long distance rides. You have lots of those. So how are you kind of fitting in Tonal with your previous workout schedule? How do you make time for everything?
Well, since I'm 76 and retired, I have lots of time.
You're a freaking inspiration is what you are. That's amazing. I hope I'm doing that at 76. That's fantastic.
So when I'm traveling with Tonal, I can do those whatever off the Tonal programs and still get credit for it.
Yeah, that's incredible. So you do like the body weight ones then whenever you're traveling. Okay. So how many days a week are you doing like cycling versus lifting?
Okay, so I have a Peloton. I've had my Peloton for 4 years. I'm got a 200-week streak on my Peloton.
That's awesome.
Right. And I have a 96-week streak on my Tonal. So, I do them basically every day.
Both of them?
If I'm not, yeah. One in the Tonal typically in the morning and Peloton in the evening.
Wow. So you're doing 2-a-day workouts. Like that's
like a football player.
Yeah.
When I am not playing pickleball, because I play a lot of pickleball.
Okay, explain pickleball to me. Somebody brought this up in another interview recently. I have no idea what it is. What is pickleball?
Well, it's like a combination of tennis, badminton, and ping pong. It's played on a smaller court than a tennis court. And you use paddles and a ball that's plastic like a wiffle ball.
Okay. And so that sounds like it's pretty dynamic. Like you're moving a lot. That sounds like a lot of running. Wow.
But not as much as tennis. I always think of it as tennis for old folks.
Well, it seems to be catching fire with young people because they're like, at least around here, they're building bars based around pickleball.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess older people can drink too, but but
she's like, yeah, I know a thing or two about drinking, Tom.
But you don't normally see them creating nightclubs.
No,
no,
that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm in my middle age and I'm like, it's so noisy. I don't want to go someplace noisy. And I like to be in bed by 9. I go to bed so early.
So has physical fitness been a part of your life like for a long time, or was it a relatively recent thing, or how's that work?
No, it's been pretty much through my life, but things change as life goes on.
Sure.
And I grew up and lived most of my life in New Jersey and lived near a Y, and they had lots of spinning classes and group exercise classes, so I took part in them. And then in 2015, I retired and moved to rural Arkansas, and they had less activities like that.
Yeah. Wow.
And then when the pandemic came, obviously everything shut down.
Yeah. What a culture shift
I was gonna say,
must have been.
Explain how you went from New Jersey to rural Arkansas. This sounds like the premise of a sitcom.
That's right. Well, as I said, I'm a widow, and when I retired, I thought I needed to be close to one of my kids, and I felt my daughter was more inclined to take care of me in my old age than my son.
That makes sense. That makes total sense.
She's established in Arkansas, so I headed out here.
Was that a difficult transition?
Yeah, and it still is.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about how hard it is for me to like change jobs after a long, time. I can't imagine just picking up after all that time of living in New Jersey and then going to a place that is just so different than New Jersey, going to Arkansas. That must have been, yeah. I can't think of any other words other than difficult. Challenging. Yeah, challenging.
So I'm just curious, what do you miss the most about being in New Jersey, and what do you like the best about being in Arkansas?
Well, Arkansas is much slower pace and much less traffic and just kind of different lifestyle. You know, Jersey being so close to New York and so many things going on, and close to the Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Yes, and we are hopelessly addicted to that show, The Jersey Shore.
She's like, we're not all like that.
Right.
It's like how people from New Jersey feel about Jersey Shore is probably how people from Arkansas feel about Ma and Pa Kettle.
Yeah, I bet that's true. I bet that's true.
I know it's a very old reference,
but I feel like every location has those stereotypes of some kind. You know, we like to make fun of the St. Louis ones for sure. Like we joke about those.
Yeah.
So do you have like other big rides coming up? Like you said, you do long distance rides. Do you have big things coming up?
Well, let's see, in 2015, I was 69 and decided I needed to ride cross country. So there is a company, Women's Tours, that does bike tours all over the world for women. And so I signed up with them and did a 2-month bike tour from San Diego to St. Augustine, Florida.
Nan, you are a badass. Oh my God, that's amazing.
My picture.
So, like, how many miles a day is that on average?
Average 60 miles a day.
Wow.
Yikes.
For 2 months, right.
Jeez
And so
Louise.
do they have it spaced out? So, like, are you sleeping in a hotel every night? Are you camping?
Yes.
What are you doing?
It's sophisticated. We stay in motels. They provide all the meals. They provide support. So all you need to do is, ride your bike. They carry your luggage. That kind of thing.
Gotcha. I was wondering. I was like, you can't be hauling stuff too, right?
She's carrying one on each shoulder.
Yeah. So they have like the cross country road cycle version of Sherpas to help you along the way.
Exactly.
Which is fair. Like
we had talked about Tom doing one. What I was trying to talk Tom into going on one of. I was trying to talk Tom into going with me on one of the international tours that the road riders do, because they have those road rider groups they put together, and so at the time, this was prior to COVID because that kind of messed up everything. But I had looked into it, and it was set up a very similar way. And I thought, well, maybe Tom could handle, that, or he could just like go do sightseeing and then meet up with me every night.
I could drive the car with the luggage. Yeah.
But it never panned out. But now I'm kind of feeling like I need to redouble my efforts to make that happen, because that's really inspirational that you did that. Did you see things that you were like really surprised? Is it different traveling cross country on a bike than it is in a car?
Sure. And, I had never been in New Mexico or Arizona, and 20 days biking through Texas. You never know how big Texas is until you try to bike it.
Sure.
Oh my God.
That's fair.
Yeah. So the other people that did this, because 2 months that's a good
chunk of time.
That's a lot of PTO. I mean, were most of the people retired, or how? Like, what
well, it's called Women's Tours, so it caters to women, and there are not many younger women who can just leave their family for 2 months.
Sure, totally.
It was older women.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was just wondering, like, that's a good chunk of time to commit to. So
I just picture like everywhere you guys stopped, people were like, "What is happening here? What are you guys doing? Like, talk to us." I wish there had been a news story about that. I feel like there should have been.
I know. So what was the what was the hardest part of that ride, that journey?
Well, there were different challenges along the way. For instance, a lot of the southern states don't have leash laws, so there are lots of dogs running around. So that's always a challenge.
Did 65 miles that day.
There are some areas in the Southwest that you can only get from place A to B on Route 10, which is, super highway, and the cars are going 85 miles an hour, and we're riding on the shoulder. That was a little scary.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. Did you have to go like up and down mountains too?
Yeah.
You say it like it's no big deal.
She's like, of course I did.
Yeah, of course. I mean, road biking, like I can handle getting on my bike and getting from point A to point B. No problem. But whenever you start putting big hills in it, I get nervous going downhill. It's like my bike feels like it's like out of control. And so the uphill is actually less scary to me. I mean, I know it's a lot of work. I don't mean that it's easy, but it's less scary than going downhill. That seems terrifying to me.
Right.
Did you experience that too? Or
There
you
were
just
some personally terrifying areas like the Continental Divide. And although it was in the spring, it was sleeting one day and we were going down a really hilly area. That was pretty scary.
Yeah, I bet.
So they don't have any days baked in for like, weather's bad, we're going to take a beat.
Well, they do have rest days. And also if the weather is too bad or, for some reason you don't feel up to it, you can take a sag and you can ride in the support van to the next place.
Gotcha.
Nan's like, but I didn't do that. Oh, I did on occasion.
Did you?
Although,
And I get that.
Yeah.
Some folks, it's called every single mile or I don't know. But, we're determined to ride every single mile. I was not one of them.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
They should call it every effing mile. Like that's a lot of miles. You've earned that F-bomb.
Yeah, you have. Gosh, yeah. How many miles was it?
3,000.
Jeez Louise, that's a lot of miles.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
God, I remember when we were driving through like Colorado and in the mountains. We were driving. I was winded.
I know.
Those
hills are big. I mean, they're mountains.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I can't picture going down them. Like, I really can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That sounds terrifying. Okay, so back to Tonal. Sorry. What is your favorite aspect of Tonal? Like, what do you like the most about it?
Well, I think of it like living with a personal trainer. And so whenever you're ready to exercise, he or she is there ready to lead you on your journey.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the biggest advantage.
Yeah.
And that somebody has planned out the exercises and, there's a method to their madness, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Totally. I would never know what to do when it comes to that sort of stuff. If somebody just said, here's a bunch of weights for free, like I would be like, well, now what?
Yeah. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming. Plus it looks so pretty on the wall, right? So what's going on for this year? What do you have planned for this year?
In October, I'm doing a ride along the Florida Panhandle with women's tours. So that's what I'm doing.
That's so cool.
And how long is that one?
Oh, only a week.
Only.
They had one offered the Underground Railroad, and it went from New Orleans to Buffalo, New York. That was a month and a half, but I didn't feel like I could leave my 2 dogs and 2 cats that long.
That is a long time.
That's a good chunk of change to leave them alone for.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's what a cool idea to be able to see the history that's involved there. Holy cow.
So do they bake in like historical tours along the route, or how does that work?
Yes and no. I mean, they point out things of interest, but you're biking, so
Right.
It's kind of like a blur as it goes by.
Yeah.
right.
So do you, since your daughter lives nearby, does she do any biking or anything like that? Do you guys ever bike together?
Okay, so one thing I found in Arkansas, or rural Arkansas where I live, is that one, there are no leash laws. 2, narrow roads with no shoulders. 3, big pickup trucks.
Yeah.
And 4, the problem is people don't expect to see bikes on the road.
Yeah.
So they're not looking for them. So I think it's pretty dangerous to bike out here. So
I get that.
right.
Because, even here in St. Louis, which is a metropolitan area, I feel like it's not very bike friendly compared to other states we've been in. There are bike lanes, but they
last
very,
for about 60 feet.
Yeah, they're just random.
You're just like, why'd they bother?
Why was there a bike lane there? Where did it go? It just stops. And so there's really not a way to plan your routes just on the roads that are safe, that you feel comfortable with. Now, they do have a lot of really good trails here. And so there's a lot of good places to bike on trails, but there's not a lot of good road riding, in my opinion. It's terrifying out there. So let's see. Do you have a favorite instructor on Tonal?
You know who I took? For one program, I took Brandon. I thought he was so cute. But the folks I like are Natalie and Nicolette and certainly Dr. Liz and Paul Wright. And I was really surprised to see him on a television commercial.
Right?
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Right?
Yeah, that was so cool. I was too. He's like, he popped up there and I was like, what? Now I need to get those shorts.
I just really hope that was a commercial for shorts, honey.
It was, Tom.
Okay, just making sure. I was a little worried for a second there. So, do you have any advice for people just getting a Tonal?
Well, I think it's really important for older women to work out with weights, and Tonal is ideal, I think, because I think of myself fighting frailty one move at a time because, as you get older, especially there's a history of osteoporosis in my family. So I figure, that's the best way for me to fight it.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is.
Yeah, it seems like you're doing a good job.
Yeah, it does. It does seem like that. And I also feel like it makes you just feel better. Like, I think, obviously there's an age difference between the two of us, but I feel like it makes you feel like you can move easier with the other things you want to do. And so there's a benefit from that as well. But I always feel stronger after I do it. So it has a lot of benefits from it.
Mm-hmm.
So do your kids get worried when you go on these adventures, or are they like, have at it, good for you?
That's right. Oh, my mother's on one of her bike rides again.
Yeah, most people say that and they mean like in the park, but no, not Nan. She's halfway across the world. That's amazing. Really is. I wish my parents did stuff like that. They don't do anything like that. I think that would just be so cool because you only get one life. So I love that you're out there exploring it and getting to do different things and see different things. I think that's so cool.
So,
there's a really nice trail in Missouri, the Katy Trail. Mm-hmm. And, I've done that. That really is a nice trail to bike on.
It goes through the parking lot of where I work.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You've done the whole thing?
Yes.
Of course you have. It's only 300 miles.
Right.
She's like, I did that in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done portions of it, like the St. Louis portions, a few times, and it's just beautiful through there. It really is. But yeah, that's cool.
So is there a big, not that what you have done isn't big, but is there a big one in your future that you've really wanted to do that's like
a bucket
kind
list
of your
thing?
white whale, or was the cross country one that?
Yeah, I think the cross country one.
I couldn't imagine what would be. I'm like you're biking in Antarctica or something.
Yeah, I know. Like other than that, it's like, there's like running on every continent. I don't know. Do they have a bike thing? Like, is there an equivalent in the biking world like that where you?
I'm not sure.
Figured you'd be the person to know.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really neat.
Yeah. Well, Nan, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been a lot of fun and educational.
It has.
I didn't realize I even had stuff like that. I mean, why would I?
Right,
it's me
exactly.
we're talking about. But I would think you would know about that. So
Now, let me tell you about one thing.
Sure.
So, as I said, I listened to your podcast, and one day you interviewed Mike D from Stronger You.
Yeah, Mike Dohila. Yeah.
Right. So I was really interested in that. And, after you finished, I checked out Stronger You online. And then about 8 months later, my son was talking to me and said he might like to try a weight loss program. I said, well, go to Stronger You. It looks really cool. So he did, and he signed up and, has lost 100 pounds and has a Peloton and Tonal and...
Holy cow.
That's great. Good for him.
That's awesome. Wow.
Right.
I love hearing success
For
stories.
sure.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, 100 pounds is a significant amount of weight, to
Absolutely.
lose. That's not one of those like, oh, I lost 20 pounds and then like they gain it back. Like 100 pounds is a lot. That's a lot to
Yeah.
lose. Wow.
I mean, 20 pounds can be a lot too.
It can.
I don't want to get people who lost 20 pounds. I just
didn't
know
mean
how
it.
people can be, and I'm trying to head it off at the pass.
No,
that's not the point
I
you're trying to make.
I know.
But yeah, that's quite an accomplishment. Good for him. And thank you for telling us that. I'm glad that we played a small role in that.
Me too.
That's awesome.
So as I said, you're the reason that I found out about Tonal and Stronger You. And so, hey,
That's
good
awesome.
marketing. Right.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is there anything else that we missed today that you wanted to tell people about that we didn't ask you about?
Well, just on Peloton, I could talk about
Sure.
Peloton, but so after I got my Peloton, my twin sister in South Carolina got one, my niece in South Carolina got one, my son in Jersey, my daughter also in Arkansas got one, so we're a big Peloton family.
That's awesome. Okay, now do you ride together?
No.
Well, do you guys like have a text chain where you tell each other what rides you took or anything like that?
I talk to folks and ask them, but when I'm riding. I don't need to.
You're like, I don't have time.
I got things to do.
Although my son and I are on the same team for the Power Zone
The Power Zone
rides or challenge.
Yeah.
And so that really is a good motivating thing.
It is. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Those kind of exhaust me. Like, I feel like I don't ride enough that I have to there's too many Power Zone classes that you need to take to be able to see your progress from week to week. And so then I miss out on my other instructors and then I get resentful and then I've lost the joy. So I have to ride for joy. I have to find the classes that just make me happy. Like the Lizzo ride.
Well, Nan, since you're talking about how much you like your Peloton, what is your Peloton leaderboard name in case people want to find you over there?
Chris from Jersey.
Chris from Jersey. That's awesome. Now, do you have a leaderboard name on Tonal, and is it the same?
It's the same.
That's
right.
greght.
Makes
That's
it nice
great.
and easy.
It does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and one other thing on Peloton, I've ridden 1,100 something rides, but for my 1,000th ride, I rode a live ride with Cody, and that was my 75th birthday. So I got a really cool shout out from Cody.
That's awesome.
Wow. That's fabulous. That's a really special birthday present right there.
Absolutely.
Right.
It is so cool. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yes, that's awesome.
Good talking to you.
Likewise.
wonderful
Thank you
talking
so
to
much
you.
for taking time to talk to us. This has been a blast.
It really has.
Sure. Good.
So I guess that brings this episode to a close. Until next time, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and the Tonal leaderboard at Clip Out Crystal.
And you can find me on Twitter at Roger Kubert or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/Superset Podcast. While you're there, like the page, join the group. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep lifting. Unless you're Sumner Paine, then give it a break, dude. Like, dial it down. We get it.
Smart bar, smart training, there you are. Customize, make it right. AI, form and vibe. Superset will show you what it's all about. It's a Tonal workout.
The Superset is made possible in part by support from Tonal.